Hello, Speed Gaming Quattro. I don't know, I'm not so good on my Spanish. Hope everybody's having a fine Saturday afternoon. August and I are going to try and have one. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. We are on Speed Gaming Cinco.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Did I mention I don't speak Spanish?
Yes, you did. But I'm super excited. Back for another weekend here on Speed Gaming for the Super Mario Maker 2 weekly race.
And we have something different this week. So, of course, we always take submissions for people submitting new levels. But this week, we're going to revisit some of our favorites. Actually, some of your favorites, because these were ones that you voted on in the past as races levels that you liked. So we're going to replay them this week. So normally it would be blind to our runners. They had not seen the levels before. This week, they almost all will have seen the levels before and will be replaying them.
That's a pretty cool twist.
I am looking for something behind the scenes just to make a correction. No big deal. That's weird. Alright, so first one is Bob McName level, which is no big surprise. This is shell shocking and shell sliding. Say that 5 times fast.
No, thank you.
This was one of the early favorites that people really loved going for the optimization on this one, and if I could hold up a prototype of what I'd love to see for levels submitted for the weekly, this is the kind of feel you want to go for. It's fast-paced, it's fun, to optimize it is challenging, even if the level doesn't have punishing difficulty.
It's always exciting, I think, to see the optimization route. At the beginning, you can go any which way, but after a few minutes, it's pretty clear that there's one, maybe two optimal routes to get your way. Kind of like what Nintendo's doing with those Ninja speed runs.
Yeah, I like to think they took a page out of our book. So the other big thing is normally we give them more time on the optimization phase. When we get to part 2, they'll not have as much time this week. That's because, well, they've already played these levels before, or at least most of them. So when we revisit these, they'll get a condensed period to actually play them. Hopefully make it more exciting, because you get less time to perfect what you're doing.
Absolutely. Looking for some no mess ups and straight to the goal.
It's got Hourglass, Dobbs, Chaos Legion, and Zero Planes, all of which veterans of this weekly. It is open. If you want to join in, all you have to do is be in the Discord and live stream to participate. The Zero Planes was not doing the weeklies when this level came up. I don't know if he's ever revisited it, but this one was not here. He came along after we did SG Live. This event started before SG Live, and this was one of the early levels.
It will be a slight disadvantage, but I'm confident that it won't take him too long to get.
I mean, make no mistake, he went out in the SG Live format, and I believe had the most total levels cleared. They are getting the countdown, so we will see things off and running here shortly. And this should be a nice, fun lineup of levels. Some of them older, some of them newer. All of them fan favorites. Hopefully this will be a nice, fun change of pace this week.
Yeah, only the best of the best.
And if you want to submit a level for it, please join the Discord. You can get more information, or you can see it via the link we have in chat, speedgaming.org/SMM2weekly. That is the number 2, of course. So this features a lot of using the Dry Bones shell.
Yeah, one of the more interesting additions to Super Mario Maker 2. Allows you to swim on or float on top of lava and poison. You can play dead, similar to the Tanuki suit statue in Super Mario Bros. 3.
Also, a feature of this level design is the repeatable nature of things. If you lose your shell, you're able to go back and get another one. It's not an auto-death start over.
At the type of level you like to see on your endless runs.
And of course, if you keep the mushroom or shell from before, then you've got that time advantage, so that's part of what makes this a great one for optimization, is when do I ditch, when do I keep it. It looks like Dobbs is the first to clear it of our runners on stream.
Yep, blink and I missed it.
Zero Planes is going to be the second, so no trouble picking this one up.
Okay, Chaos Legion right behind him.
Bill's Desert is going to be our second level of this run.
I assume Bill, referring to the Bonsai Bills.
Bullet Bills. There's more. So this one's going to be a lot more likely you need a damage boost here and there to get through it.
Yep, when you can, go over the top. Oh, but Dobbs
That's usually a
taking
good
that
strat, Mario.
Well, even the devs of the original SMB1 discovered, hey, we can break these blocks up top and let's just put some warp zones over here.
That was very interesting game theory when they came out with it, and as I understand it, the working theory of Miyamoto was not force players to play a level that they don't enjoy. Which, boy, how contrary is that to modern game theory? A checkpoint there for Zero Planes. Chaos Legion also picked up that. This is a nice tricky one. You have to ride the Bullet Bill elevator all the way to the top, but you're probably going to need all 4 shots, and Chaos Legion killed 2 at once, so he was off sync there, whereas Zero Planes got it, got the clear.
And Zero Planes first to the gold tape here in this level 2. Dobbs
Again,
and Chaos Legion right behind.
If I'm not mistaken, this was another one that predated Zero Planes participating in these weeklies, so that may have even been his first run through it.
You know, sometimes with Mario Maker 2, that's an advantage for you. I've seen countless streamers where they encounter a brand new level, looks a bit challenging, and their first attempt, they get so much further than they do on attempt number 2, 3, and 4. And just because in the moment they have to make those split decisions.
So this is some tech that not everybody may know or be familiar with, which is when it comes to these bombs, their explosion timer resets when you go through a door or a pipe. So you're able to keep this one bomb much longer than you normally would because of going through the warps.
Hourglass finally gets up top onto the pipe and clears level 2.
Zero Planes has not really picked up that bomb and brought it yet. I'm not sure how much of this is just scouting the level first.
Yeah, I do think it's pretty well-known tech about carrying bombs through doorways.
So this may just be a case of he wants to see as much of the level as he can before he's trying to bring the bomb through. Meanwhile, Dobbs, our second player on stream to get to that checkpoint, but Chaos Legion has cleared the level Moving on, we've seen a different runner first clear each of these 3 levels so far. How about that for competition?
Absolutely, making it exciting.
Swinging for Swamp's Coins is going to be next. This one is definitely going to be the hardest of the levels we have this week. So, a little bit of precision. Well, not a little bit. It is definitely a precision level. It's
Yep.
just when you say precision level, it's not like pixel perfect all over the place. But it is definitely going to take control of your Mario, Luigi, or Toad, as the case may be, to get through this one.
Yep, absolutely. Might switch from a D-pad to a control stick. You never know when that move is the move to make. But it does look like Koas Legion is getting the hang of it. Maybe some muscle memory coming into play. Oh,
So one of
Yikes.
the things you can do with this is route it so that you're picking up the hardest coin first, then going back to the easier ones.
I like that strat. I often did that when I was forced to read a book for school. You skip to the last chapter, find out which characters are still alive.
Chaos Legion has the checkpoint. Because of the checkpoint, you save coins. So again, another thing you can do is go for a harder coin and then save it with the checkpoint. But because we only have the one, as Hourglass is going to clear that last level, we only have the one, so you're not able to save your progress like you could in Infinite Checkpoint system.
Yep, it makes that move strategic. When do you want to get that checkpoint? Koas with just one. Oh, no, he's got the key. Had an advantage coming into this tricky precision level, and it looks like that has paid off.
Yeah, that's a nasty looking jump on the part of Dom. So one of the things that happened in Mario Maker 2 versus 1 is a lot of hitboxes got wider, but not as tall. So you can jump over something like that even when it looks scary. And Chaos Legion's on to the last level.
And Hitbox Change definitely throwing runners from Mario Maker 1 for a loop. Week 1. Zero Plane's still escorting this bomb through doorways.
Alright, so that was part 1 for Chaos Legion. Now it gets a little more tricky. First part of the level warms you up. Now you start facing a few more of these jumps.
Looks like you just gotta be hot on your toes. And Zero Plane's finishing up with their level, gonna move on to the swinging red coins.
Chaos Legion has finished the second train ride. Checkpoint 2. Now he's on to part 3 and he missed his ride.
Whoopsie.
That's okay, that's what reset doors are for.
If the level creator is merciful enough, that is.
Well, hey, what can I say? We've got a cut above on the level makers here. They bring it. And that is GG for Chaos Legion.
Taking the victory for round 1. While other 3 runners all on the same level. It looks like Dobbs a little bit in the lead. Not sure Yeah, it does look like they do have that checkpoint.
It's definite advantage, but I think what you really want to do here is go for the harder coins in this second section first so that you're making better use of your time when you're redoing these. Of course, what your definition of harder coins is will vary.
That's often that very subjective.
But sometimes you're kind of forced into the routing.
But both Hourglass and Dobbs with that checkpoint at 5 coins each. Yeah.
Zero Plane's working on the first half of this level. 2 red coins to get out of the first part. He's having a little trouble getting up to this fourth one. That little saw has gotten him a couple times.
Unfortunately, no little saws. They're all of one standard size, about 4 times the size of Mario.
Oh, Dobbs just missed the last jump. That's the final coin he needs, but he's got to redo a lot of jumps to get back there.
Oh, and unfortunately gets a little too close to that saw right above the checkpoint. Back to halfway.
That's a lot of coins to re-grab. Theoretically, the more you do it, the more you build up the muscle memory, and the better you get. That time Zero Plane's got the jump. Now he just needs one more red coin. Had to move the camera a little bit so he could see it, but now he does.
Yeah, this tricky jump.
A little too far to the right. That one's a classic case of it looks really scary, and make no mistake, it is a challenge, but I would also say it's not quite as scary as it looks.
That tends to be the case with a lot of Mario Maker levels. Not always, but...
Look at that, only the second time Zero Flames was able to get that challenge. He made quick progress. Now he's looking for the pipe. And that'll be his checkpoint, putting him on just about even par with the other runners here.
Or, no, it looks like he's scouting out. Doesn't want to grab that checkpoint just yet.
I think this is a case of he knows exactly how these work, so he was waiting to see if he wanted to grab coins first, as Dobbs has the key.
It is an opportunity for a key death, but dodges those saws and gets the flagpole. And here is the last coin for Hourglass. Gets the jump, threads the needle, just has to make it to the key door.
Once you have that last coin, not so bad. It's more scary looking than scary actually.
So Hourglass and Dobbs in a race for second place.
And, oh, I'm sorry, didn't get the last level updated here. This is Crazy Train Ride by Gregman.
All aboard.
Something like that.
That is how the Ozzy Osbourne song starts.
Indeed. So one of the things I've really loved about Mario Maker is it really feels like there was a creative resurgence for SMB1 even before we got the Master Sword power-up. Felt like people really tried to do good things with SMB1.
Yep, as a fan of retro games, I think sometimes with modern games they can add so much complexity that it takes away a bit. And, you know, with each successive Mario game, there are new power-ups, new, you know, moves to do, like spin jump, but when you strip it all down, nothing beats some solid platforming.
And this is a great example of a progressive challenge level. Okay, you've got this one. You can land on the platforms. Then it gives you a couple spikes that Hourglass is seeing now. Got plenty of room to jump, but then it gives you a tighter jump. Can't just run off the end. There's a muncher.
And then they take the parachutes off the thwomps.
So now you gotta do the whole thing faster. And 3 blocks wide for Mario to get through. So these jumps are not punishingly tight.
And now the next stage of that progression would be adding ice physics.
Oh, you're an evil man.
This level creator, not that evil.
Dobbs will be our second place overall.
Well, the Hourglass makes it on to the last stage of this level. Oh, and Zero Plane's just missing that final coin.
That really hurts.
And there we go, Hourglass has found the vertical pipe. They're gonna get that third place finish.
So we had... Let's not overlook this, because it happened a little bit ago, but we had 3 different first place finishers among these racers on those first 3 levels, which means not only... How do I put this? 3 times somebody had to do it that much faster than somebody else who got to start the level before them. Or twice, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying.
That the early lead, I think, is not as nice as being the first one to clear level 4.
Here we go. Zero Plane's just nicked the coin that time. That's good enough. He's on.
One saw to dodge there, and they're moving on to the 5th and final level of round number 1.
New Soup has a lot of interesting tech, and it saw more favor in Mario Maker 1 when it was the newest game system. Now, of course, people favoring 3D World a little bit. But so many things like the slow fall tech you can do can be put to interesting effect. And right there, you don't need it, but you can use it to make it that much safer.
Yeah, really having that encyclopedic knowledge of what to press and when and what does what can really benefit you on the fly.
Alright, Zero Planes on the introductory section shows that those are not free jumps. But it takes a little bit to get used to the timing of those thwomps. Because basically you're dealing with 2 obstacles at once. You're dealing with the jump and you have to make sure the platform is going to be there when you're done.
Unfortunately, meets another spike to the face.
Shows that this is still a challenging level. This is one that I've played in the past. And I would say my efforts looked a little bit worse than Zero Planes. Probably about twice the deaths in as many attempts.
I think at this point, it's feeling a bit behind. Just wants to get this stage over with and move on to the optimization rounds.
Gets a spike, but that's not too bad because we just got that checkpoint.
Knows he's 1/3 of the way done. Well, Dobbs is staying fresh and practicing up. Oh, and just grazes that hitbox on that spike.
Oh, Dub's practicing one of these sumo levels. It's some interesting tech trying to get these enemies to cooperate with you.
Oh, very nice. I like that theme.
Zero Plane's working on the Crazy Train level. I think this one is actually throwing him a little bit with how slow the thwomps move. It feels,
Yep.
looking at it, it feels like he wants to get more rhythm and get this going faster, but he keeps slowing down for the platform.
Well, metal wounds not healing, driving him insane.
Let's not get a copyright strike here, huh? Alright, a little bit of progress here. And he's going to clear this section as well.
Moving on to the third and final stage, and not ready for the speed. Getting baited.
Now, since we started doing this, one of the things that's become more common is to have indicators for parachute thwomps on a level like this. Bear in mind, this level didn't have those.
Yeah, I do kind of like, well, it's like a triangle with curved edge.
See, I feel like that third section vindicated exactly what I said, because he finished it second try. The slowness, I think, really threw him.
Yeah, these runners are used to going fast.
Gonna check in if we have anybody running off stream. I am not sure.
I do believe we only have 4 racers today. But speaking of fast, Owlglass chucking these P-switches, showcasing just how fast these runners can run. Yeah, he is playing a pretty nifty level, if I do say so myself. Our other racers are waiting up for the word and the countdown. Moving on to the optimization level. Again, they will have a decreased amount of time this week for round 2. Because most of them have seen some, if not all, of these levels already. So it's just a matter of refreshing their brain.
And we are confirming some things here real fast. Hopefully have an update for you shortly.
Anyone in chat with inspired by some of these levels or have an awesome idea of your own, get to creating, or tell one of your friends who's got Mario Maker 2 and collaborate on a level. Submit it to us here on Speed Gaming. Love to feature it.
Alright, so what we are going to do on these, normally we'd give them 15 minutes for the optimization, but that's on a level that's totally blind to them. So what do? We're going to cut it in half. We're only going to give them 8 minutes to put up their best time on these levels.
8's my lucky number.
Alright, runners are going to be getting the updates now, so we'll see them going soon. And I think Chaos Legion is taking a guess on what's coming up here. But I don't think these optimizations are going to surprise anybody. Because really, when you look at it, we had the well, let me not go into that. That's would be spoilers at this point, and we don't need that. They have gotten the word that the first level is going to be shell shocking and shell sliding.
Luckily, is nothing to electrocute any of these racers. We can set them on fire, but we can't shock them with electricity.
Yeah, I said before, if there was any level I could hold up as a prototype and say, don't copy this level, but go for this feel. This is a fast-paced level. It's got challenging platforming to it. Nothing is free. A lot of the tricks are resettable. And there's different ways to go about things where you can optimize damage boosts, reclaims, keep something versus get something new. Let's see what our runners do with it with only 8 minutes to get there.
And they're off. We'll have to use that damage boost wisely, as we alluded to in round 1.
See, like right there's 2 different ways you can get through where that thwomp is at the checkpoint. You can bounce off the thwomp and go up that direction instead of going around the other way. So you've got 2 different choices you can make there.
Dobbs looks like he's optimizing those slopes very nicely. And,
so in a lot of these places, even if it's not obvious, there's at least 2 choices for how you can complete that section. Zero Planes already put up the first finish.
Yep, Dobbs took the victory in round 1, first to complete it. But let's see who is going to be the fastest one. Given that this level's been out there for quite a while, the world record is going to be quite optimized.
Oh yeah, it got down really quickly the first time around we did that. Nice long jump there from Hourglass. But it didn't work out on the next section, so that's what you're constantly up against. What works fastest for one trick may not be the best thing to do 3 later. And Chaos Legion with another clear of this level.
Ooh, getting swamped on.
The swamp section really seems to be holding people up.
Oh, but there is Dobbs with a nice time. 35 seconds, and that's a new world record.
How about that? Of course, that's first place so far of what we've seen. Chaos Legion put up a 53 and Zero Planes put up a 41.
Now the other racers are wondering, scratching their head, how did Dobbs get it all the way down to 35 seconds?
I mean, that just goes to show you the fun that optimization can be. This level has been out for months. It already ran through the ringer of runners trying to optimize it in one of our weekly sections, and then Dobbs just does that casually.
Previous world record holder for this level in chat. Sad to see that record go.
He might pull this level up, but he's got a chance to try to go back for it. It is a fun level.
Well, nothing is stopping any of our viewers from loading up the level and giving these racers a run for their money.
And hey, if you like the level, give it a try, and creators always appreciate more likes on their levels. Also, if you like the runners, you can feel free to give them a follow.
Yeah, without them racing these races, we wouldn't have these races to watch being raced.
Dabs with some really efficient movement through there and manipulates that Thwomp hitbox well to not take any damage, so he's still Big Luigi and has a damage boost for here if he needs it. He doesn't. And moving on to the end. See what he gives us here. A new world record is what he gives us there. That run just looked so smooth.
Shaving some time off. Can we get a sub 35?
He just shaved 6/10 off his previous effort. Meanwhile, Zero Planes continues to make progress on this one. He dropped his initial 41 to a 38. Now he's got it down to in the lower 38, 38.027, which is going to be 5/10 faster than his previous time. And Owlglass has taken, looks like, almost 10 seconds off their previous run and got a 40.3 up now. 2 minutes left, so you've got about 3 full runs left of this level, because you also have to factor in loading times, but they're able to finish their last attempt, if I remember the rules right.
That sounds right to me. Can start all the way up to the 1 second mark, and then they can finish that last run.
Chaos Legion with another clear of the levels, see what we have. 41 there.
Dobbs is the one to beat. 90 seconds left.
He broke 35!
World record.
I mean, to keep coming up here and shaving off another 5/10, that is just... You gotta applaud the man.
Absolutely.
Hourglass not having a lot of luck with that Thwomp section, so you've got enough time for one full run. You could probably start over once. I don't know if you could get 2 start overs in at this point. But Zero Planes is about to get another finish. Let's see what we're up against here. It's probably final attempt for Dobbs. A 32.
Wow.
At this point, I feel pretty confident in saying we're seeing everybody's last attempt just because of loading times. Okay, Hourglass proves me wrong. But sub 10 seconds, I don't think you're going to get another load done.
That is it for Chaos Legion. And Owlglass right behind, finished as well. Fortunately, not able to break the sub 40.
Yeah, Zero Planes had another jump go wrong as well, so we got our final times for everybody.
Chaos Legion with a final time of 41.7. Owlglass with a final time of 40.393. Zero Planes with 37, or no, Zero Planes with
37.7.
777. And Dobbs taking the victory with his 34.559. Take a quick little break while the runners prepare for the next level.
So as far as that round, it was Dobbs, of course, with the fastest time. Zero Planes came out, put up the second fastest time, again on a level that I'm pretty sure was new to him. And Hourglass came in third, Chaos Legion in fourth.
Making for an exciting start to round number 2 so far. Are we still doing just 3 levels?
It is going to be 3 levels because, well, yeah, you can guess why the 2 we're not going to do or we're not going to do. But spoilers. So this is some fun revisits of classic levels that we have done on these weeklies. But hey, we want to do some new stuff next week, so think you got a level? Check out speedgaming.org/SMM2 weekly. You can submit your levels. We look through them, we test them, we try and make sure they're going to be quality for our runners and give everybody a good experience.
Yep. Now, as we are taking a moment, would be a great time to check out Discord if you haven't done so.
Also, there's prizes. Do you want to mention the prizes?
Yes, each week we vote on our favorite level. The winning the top 2 voters receive cash prizes, I believe, of $20. And as well, the winner of the weekly race receives a cash prize. I forget how much that one is.
Same.
$20 victory prize to the winner.
This is going to be a best of week, so just to clarify, that's not this week because all these levels were eligible for that in the past. In fact, I think several of them won it in the past. But when you submit it for the blind races, those are eligible. So we should be back to that next week.
Yeah, you don't even have to play video games to make money. You just have to make a video game level.
Alright, they are getting the countdown, so let me update this for us so that it's displaying correctly for you, because we try and put the level codes out there and show the love to these level makers. It's going to be Bill's Dessert. Desert? I don't know. I'd go for some dessert right now.
Yeah, I could go for some chocolate.
I was thinking strawberry shortcake. 'Tis the season. Almost anyways. I think the Strawberry Festival kicks off in like 2 weeks.
Of course there's a strawberry festival.
Why wouldn't there be? I mean, is anything more deserving of a festival than strawberries?
More deserving? Probably.
Are we gonna have angry words here on stream? We've been getting along so well.
I mean, I personally prefer raspberries to strawberries.
There probably is a raspberry festival, I just don't know where it would be.
Unfortunately, no such thing as raspberry shortcake.
I mean, you could start a thing. I won't stop you. And Hourglass is going to be the first to complete this level.
Yeah. Continuing the streak of a different runner clearing, getting the first clear, rather.
A 30 point... was that a 1? Or 0.3? 30.3 on his first clear. So again, not as much time to react to these levels as runners are used to. So on blind levels, they're usually given more time, and that also gives them more time to explore the level in this section and figure out what kind of routes they want to take. This tighter timer, they really have to make those choices faster to be able to get the attempts in.
That's something to keep in mind as you're cycling through the levels.
And I think one of the things we're seeing is runners trying to experiment with the damage boost or spring to do this next section. Or
Yeah.
even could you get the bullets to line up?
I think the first time around we saw the damage boost strats paying off.
Well, especially because that's a fire flower, so you're picking up not one but 2 damage boosts from it. And Hourglass right there expertly shows off how much benefit that can be because you get damage boost through those 2 sections instead of just 1. Made it with only the 4 shots. This is going to be a very good time for Hourglass. Did those damage boosts well, had a great bullet escalator. I don't know what else to call that. And he broke 30 with it, getting a 29.9.
Yep, punting up the times here. Wants to make up for that previous level.
Well, we just got some company, people coming in from Speed Gaming 3. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. You are watching the Super Mario Maker 2 weekly competition here on Speed Gaming. Right now we're in part 2, in which runners try and optimize their performance through 3 of the levels that we played in part 1. They have 8 minutes to put up the best time that they can for each of these levels, and this is level number 2 of 3. That's the short version.
Absolutely. Level 2 of 3 in round 2 of 3 rounds.
And it looks like Zero Plane's experimenting with taking the bullet bill instead of the power-up. He got it. But now he doesn't have a damage boost for this section, so he has to time it. Got through it pretty clean. I don't think that's going to turn out to be quite as fast, but we'll see how he does on the bomb escalator, or bullet escalator. Bombs get the elevator term, so I figure we'd call it escalators for bullets. That's what I was going for.
Gotta go step by step.
Another 29 for Hourglass. This level is very much agreed with him.
If that's what we see, some different level styles play to different runners' innate abilities, it seems.
So far we've got an interesting here, a tie between Dobbs and Chaos Legion, 31.75 so far. Hourglass leading with a 29.05. Zero Planes still feeling this one out, has a 39.5. And they've got another couple minutes to try and improve.
3 minutes and counting.
They're trying for a very precise movement on that swing past the saw, because if you are behind at all, you're going face first into the saw. So they're trying to get it at the very edge of the swing where they've got enough time to get up over the saw and onto the platform.
Dobbs showcasing that right there very nicely. He's got that jump down.
I won't say it's frame perfect, but you don't have a second to do it either. So you're not going to use checkpoints in this phase of the level because you're trying to go fast, so time lost. But if the checkpoint happens to be on your way, you end up picking it up anyways. It would matter more if there was a power-up to it. Like if you were getting a mushroom there, that would definitely be something you could work to your advantage.
Yep, I've seen a number of versus races come down to someone skipping a checkpoint.
30.1 there for Chaos Legion.
Breaking the tie. Zero Planes gets that jump he's going for.
And Dobbs fires off a 30.2, has brought his time down by a good bit.
one of the hardest parts of this is this first claw swing. But after that, it's certainly not free.
No, but that's a case of you'd have to hit an extra power-up box to be able to damage boost there, and nobody wants to take the time to do that, so that limits 2 of your 3 options. And if you're just fast enough, you can do what Hourglass did there and swing as soon as you get there. But the timing on that is definitely tricky.
We're down to our final 10 seconds. Who can get another attempt in?
This is going to be really tight for Zero Planes, and no, not
Nope.
going to have enough time to start another run.
And looks like the Hourglass also. I don't know if this one will count. But Dobbs with a final time here. Dobbs with a 29. 29.116 is a final time. Unfortunately, that's really close, but not good enough.
Now, 3 of our runners putting up a 29 goes to show you there's a lot of competition here.
Up in order from last to first for that round, we have Zero Planes with a 34.489. Koas Legion with a 29.583. Dobbs with a 29.116. And Hourglass taking it home with a 29.050.
Overall, as it stands, Dobbs, our leader, with tie for second between Chaos Legion and Hourglass. Still plenty of chances to flip that around with another level in Part 2, plus the Endless Challenge ahead for Part 3.
The Endless Challenge being the most heavily weighted in terms of points.
They're actually all even currently.
Oh.
3 parts counted equally, though we've been talking about adjustments to the scoring system to try and make that a little more interesting, but we've not actually implemented any of those changes yet.
Gotcha.
And that was a little different from how we did it at the live marathon, which, by the way, follow Speed Gaming for the Speed Gaming Live Marathon this fall.
If you missed Speed Gaming Live this past October, go over to YouTube and check out the highlights. Or check out the raw.
Highlights a little easier to search for what you're looking for. But even then, that only captured a fraction of the fun that was going on there. There was tournaments going on throughout. We had gaming going on in 4 different rooms at SG Live. That's how much there was going.
But our runners are off, escorting our Bob-omb through some doorways.
This is going to be a case of where there may not be as many big optimizations, but there's going to be a lot of little ones. Just every little movement, every little jump that you can do, the faster you can do it, the better.
Yep, and the longer the level, the more those little optimizations add up and save you a chunk of time.
Right away, you're seeing runners skipping the checkpoint on this.
And Zero Plane's almost making it to the key door, but one missed jump and has to restart.
He had thrown the bomb away, so he couldn't get in the door with the bomb, which he needed. So this being our 3rd level, the reason we picked these 3 instead of the other 2 is one, of course, was the precision level, which isn't great for optimization. And the other was the Crazy Train, which, while I would say is still one of my favorite levels I've seen in these weeklies, it is an auto-scroller. Auto-scrollers aren't great for optimization purposes.
Absolutely. It's So, for example, in the Super Mario Brothers 3 randomizer, almost all the auto scrollers have been removed of their auto scrolling capabilities because we want to go fast.
Yeah, I believe it's 2 that still have that, and it's only because they break worse if you don't have it. Zero Plate's going to put up a finish. We've got Chaos Legion has a finish of 44.3, Zero Planes with a 41.9, and Hourglass about to turn in his time. That'll be a 41.0.
I think this decreased time has really gotten to these runners, and they're in it to win it.
It's a very different element. I mean, it's nothing when you have 15 minutes to take 8 of them, to plot out your run, see what you like, see what you want to do. You just don't have that time. You know, if you want 5 minutes for just actually making attempts, then you've only got 3 to plan out your run. So you've got to be right on it. In other words, even though we gave them a little more than half the usual time, but I feel like it took away more like 3/4 of the planning time.
Yeah, I think with the less time, there's less routing. So you gotta get your route and then stick to it.
Now that said, the better a time you put up, the more you might be willing to gamble on a future attempt.
That is a good point.
Chaos Legion reaching the first checkpoint. Again, nobody taking advantage of it, because if you die, you're just going to start the level over anyways.
No advantage to checkpoints when you're optimizing.
Hey, even if you had a damage boost, say for those piranhas that you got from the checkpoint, well, it would destroy your bomb if you didn't kick it through them anyways, so there's no advantage to that. Chaos Legion gonna clear this one. That is a 40.3. Zero Planes has a run get through the key door. That really feels like it's the point at which you have a run going, when you have gotten through that key door.
Absolutely.
And
Dab that time here, 41.999.
Comes a couple quick completions, one for Zero Planes. Hourglass not far behind. Another 41 on the board.
But the Hourglass taking the lead of that 40.685. Or no, sorry. Chaos Legion still in the lead with 40.333.
These times continue to creep down. This level, it feels like the reset point is a little bit further back, so you're probably close to 30, maybe not 30 seconds in, but probably 20 seconds in before you know you'd want to reset. Doesn't lend itself to as many attempts, is what I'm ultimately saying.
Yep, the times continue to change, but there's always renegades who are looking to get that time even lower.
So one of the things very important about this final jump is to understand that Mario doesn't lose speed when he's jumping. So the sooner you're jumping forward, you're not going to be losing any speed doing that. Dobbs skipped the left springs on that run, trying for a little optimization. First time I have noticed that. Oh, that was a very high-level play that Dobbs did there. So he paused to see what his time was at before he decided, do I want to take this or start over? Because you lose time on the goal animation. So if he was going to start over, it would have been like 5 seconds faster, something like that.
That makes sense, but that is not gonna do it. Chaos Legion's still in the lead.
41.03, though, still his best.
And we are in the final 15 seconds. For our racers, they might be able to start another one here. See Dobbs and Hourglass making that attempt. Chaos Legion will not be able to make another attempt. This will be their last one. Approaching the goal tape now.
All right, getting all these into the spreadsheet so we can figure out where people finished.
Chaos, the one to beat. That is a final time of 40.050. And Dobbs, unfortunately, gets exploded. Dobbs with a final time of 41.033. Hourglass finishing up. And Hourglass with a very nice time, 40.516, but not good enough. Chaos Legion taking the third and final match of round number 2.
So as far as part 2, it ends up being a tie between Dobbs and Hourglass, which really shakes up the standings. We have a 1 point of difference between 3 runners, Chaos Legion and Hourglass chasing Dobbs at this point by 1 point, so that can easily flip just by finishing order in part 3.
Yep, part 3 is our endless expert run. We are going to be looking for the most clears. So whoever gets the most clears will most likely take home the victory. No
Gonna
victory.
be just
I was going to say just no victory prize this week, but yeah, all the same.
gonna be a little out of reach for Zero Planes on this one because there's not runners to play spoiler. But he could still jump up and finish in a better spot.
Does Dobbs have his timer set correctly? 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Standard
this will be normal.
endless expert.
Yeah, this will be normal endless part. We just gave them less time because most of them had seen those levels before in part 2. And I gotta say, I like the faster pace anyways. Felt like they really had to go for it.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely makes for interesting play styles. Just wonder if it would work quite as well with blind levels.
Yeah, you know, it might be a case where we try a happy median one of these weeks and see how 10 minutes works just for that faster pace.
And as we see, some of our racers are starting with a whole bunch of lives. Yeah, it was 81, 61, 85. Chaos Legion with a whole bunch. Hourglass and Zero Planes at 15, starting from scratch. Can be a little bit of a strategy involved with that.
it's one of those things. I originally thought there was mainly an advantage to having more lives in the bank so that you didn't game over just because you'd save time not gaming over. However, you can see the appeal with starting the new run because the new run is not going to have a high score notice when you clear a new level. So every time Chaos Legion does one of those, he's going to get that extra animation. And anything that slows you down could potentially cost you a level.
Yep, absolutely. Especially when there's 5-second speedrun levels.
Be surprised if you got a 5-second level in Expert, but 10-second speedruns could definitely happen. Although usually in that case they're forgiving and it's more like 8 or 9 seconds. You've got one to play with.
And Dobbs starting with 77 lives. Over 1,100 clears, almost to 1,200 clears for this run here.
That is very impressive at Expert. And make no mistake, Expert runs a pretty good range because you get levels with text that are a little too hard for normal, and you also get what really are super expert levels that just haven't necessarily gotten enough plays yet. Starting with a 30-second speed run for Zero Planes.
Unfortunately, did not.
This looks like it would have been a fun level.
Yeah, it does.
I think it started and stopped.
Meanwhile, Hourglass is already out of gold tape. Just has to decipher how to get. There we go. Just has to wait out switch timer, and the Hourglass with the first clear of the round. This is one of the rounds where an early lead is quite advantageous.
The earlier you start to get up your score, the better. Goal in sight for Zero Planes as he takes the death. That may be a case where it warrants trying again. Just don't want to invest too much time in a level.
Nice tight platforming.
Chaos Legion has found a tech level here, it looks like, where you have to be Big Luigi in this case. Well, never mind, not a tech level. It looked like it was going to be because you had to do duck jumps to get through those, but it's just going to be how much can I troll you to cause damage?
Speaking of trolls, Hourglass, I think, has found a maze level. Got up and over the top, but that's the subworld, and there's no flagpole.
One of the things you'll commonly see these runners do is pause. They're checking world record times, they're checking clear rate information, anything that might tell them, is this a good level or is this a level I need to move on from?
Yep, speaking of moving on, Dobbs moving on with one clear. And Zero Planes on the board.
Pound approach. Is this going to work? Where is the end of this level?
There it is. There's the pipe anyway. Pipe of the subworld. Getting some one-ups.
Just a few.
And there is a clear for Chaos Legion.
You can't do this if you're not big.
Oh, that feels bad, man.
Oh, there was a P-switch. Okay, that's the level.
Found a way around it. Hourglass maintaining that early lead. Zero Planes not in a good level. Skipping it. Don't blame them.
It is important to skip, so between Dobbs, Chaos Legion, and Hourglass, it's extremely likely whoever finishes with the most clears is going to be our overall winner today. That's not necessarily something they know, but hey, you're doing this, the competitive juices are flowing, you want the most clears.
Yeah, even if you're coming into this last place, getting the most clears gives you some bragging rights. Oh, Zero Planes taking a death to the pokey head.
So, interesting falling level for Dobbs. It's got the coin trail that does not lie.
Always nice when the coin trails are honest. And
Dobbs trying to.
taking a nice damage boost there, saving the mushroom.
Yeah, because he had kept it before, so very heads up play on his part gives him a little more leeway. All that for a red coin.
Red coin number 2.
It looks like Hourglass is thinking get some flight, get over this section, but the Bowser Fire being a pain. That is a lot of pain. But who cares, because we got the goal, and they're all gone. Dobbs with a clear.
That will be 3 for Hourglass, 2 for Dobbs, 2 for Chaos Legion. Zero Plane's still sitting on.
It's one of those things that can change quickly. So in this format, we usually see something like 8 clears being high for the week. If you get that, you've probably won. But you're hoping to put up at least a 5.
Yeah, 8 clears is very impressive. It's less than 2 minutes clear. Or sorry, less than 3 minutes clear. I'm trying to do math again on stream.
I try and warn you of the dangers.
Unfortunately, math sometimes necessary.
So got a coin down there. Looks like you need to kick the bomb into it to be able to pick up the coin safely.
Oh, and Dobbs getting soft locked by that on and off switch.
Well, that's not nice. That time Hourglass is able to clear it. A little bit of waiting in this level for Dobbs. That's often a pain because you want to go fast, so anything that makes you feel slow, even if it's not necessarily that slow, does not feel good. Another clear for Hourglass.
Yeah, that does feel good. Maintaining that lead. Now up 2 clears on their opponent.
Hourglass 4, Dobbs 2, Chaos Legion 2. Supposed to be an auto level of some sort?
Zero Plane's going for shell jump, but misses.
You have to worry when what's something that appears to be an auto level is an expert for. And the reason I'm speculating the auto is because it had hold left and X on the first screen, which suggests that's what you're supposed to do to clear the level.
Zero Plane's making some progress. Meanwhile, Chaos Legion has found our first Link level of the weekly. It's clear.
Almost surprising it took that long, as Dobbs is going to put up another clear as well.
Keeping things interesting.
Oh, I just realized I misunderstood the notation. It wasn't a hold left level, it was a don't look left level.
Quite a big difference.
Indeed.
But there is another clear. Hourglass firing back, maintaining their 2-level lead.
So that's a case where there's an off-screen mechanism that would trigger the on-off switches if you did look left, and then you would die. It also makes much more sense why that level would be an expert. Another clear for Zero Planes.
Very nice. Up to 2.
Makes the number crooked. You always want to see that.
Dobbs may have found a troll level.
Well, those you probably don't want to do, but every once in a while they're actually easier because the level maker missed something.
Yep, when in doubt, cheese it out.
Dobbs finds power up though, but looks like this is going to be a blind jump one way or another. Sometimes yellow's all you can do, and
Ooh,
he
YOLO's
overshot it.
face first into a saw.
So New Super Mario Brothers, you're able to do twirls for a slower jump, and that's what Dobbs did. It lets you go further because you're not falling as fast. The vertical speed is lower, while the horizontal is, generally speaking, the same. Because of that, he went much further than the level was designed for. And he missed where you're supposed to land here.
We have Hourglass and Zero Planes dodging thwomps on the left side. Zero Planes not so lucky. Hourglass also taking a skip. But Dobbs gets their fourth clear of the third round. One away, trailing Hourglass by just a single level clear.
It's gonna be a close finish, it looks like, going into the second half here.
Yep, Chaos Legion right behind. 4 to their name as well. It looks like Hourglass has found a nice, simple platformer. Halfway and finds that checkpoint.
Fortunately, a game over for Zero Planes. There's no penalty for that other than the time lost in the transition because you gotta sit through all this.
Time loss is penalty enough.
Indeed. That? Does water slow down thwomps? Because he didn't have a parachute that I could see.
Yes, water does slow down thwomps. The developers taking fluid dynamics into consideration.
Okay. First time I'd seen it used quite like that.
The more you know.
I mean, hey, right up to the last day of Mario Maker 1, it felt like people were finding new tech, so these things happen.
There are still a couple thousand uncleared Mario Maker 1 levels out there. But Dobbs tying it up. Or no, Hourglass firing back right away. So it's 5 to 6. Hourglass leading the way.
Ah, the star kills of Booze. That's always fun because you're getting revenge against these quote-unquote invincible enemies that cause you so much trouble. That looks like it's a Super Mario Brothers 2 themed level for Zero Planes. That climb looked very similar to one of the World 7 levels.
Very cool. Meanwhile, Chaos Legion with another clear. Tying it up.
Dobbs missing a coin to be able to get that goal there. He did find the goal.
Dobbs also finding a water level.
Half water.
Chaos Legion with a one-screen puzzle, but gonna skip it.
Puzzles are going to be... They run quite the gamut because you have ones that rely on things that they don't teach you, including glitches. You have others that have an easy-to-see solution, but a hard execution.
Speaking of execution, Dobbs taking the lead. think Dobbs taking the lead. I'm pretty sure that was clear number 7 for Dobbs.
Dobbs at 6, so he's tied for the lead. Sees an on-off switch, and it is going to be required.
Yep. Gotta go back. Plenty of time.
Should kick him out of the blocks. I think he's looking for a power-up so he doesn't get caught, but it should kick him out since it's only one block.
Yeah, wants to hit that corner. Bowser Fire. Not making it easy, but it gets soft locked.
Alright, Zero Planes at 4. Dobbs 6. Hourglass 6. Sorry, that was 4 for Zero Planes. Still a chance to make up some ground, but only 4 minutes left.
Colossus Legion dodging, sees the flagpole.
A lot going on, but
yeah,
but he got there.
We have a tie race for first place, and we also have the number of the beast, 666. Dobbs, Hourglass, and Colossus Legion, each with 6 clears to their name. And we are running out of time. 4.5 minutes and counting.
On Zero Plane's side, we're seeing one of the unsung heroes of the 2.0 update to Mario Maker, of course, well known for the Master Sword Link power-up, but this acceleration pad it had right at the start. See it some, but you don't see a lot of it.
Yep, and it has some interesting physics implications. I learned, for example, today that it gives you a short burst of speed, but if you long jump at the very tail end of it, you maintain that speed in the air during that long jump, which can shave off a handful of seconds for you.
That's a great tool for speedrun levels, but you don't necessarily see a lot of 3D World speedruns.
Not yet. Colossus Legion finds a checkpoint. Nice platformer. Race is on between Colossus, Dobbs, and Hourglass. 6 clears apiece, but Colossus Legion taking the lead. Or no, Hourglass firing right behind him. Still tied up. But Zero Planes is not out of this.
Another clear for Zero.
So Zero Planes at 5, Dobbs at 6, Colossus Legion and Hourglass at 7. Still anybody's game.
And this is very much where you have to be able to finish the levels in time, so you're going to have to choose carefully, because you probably are only clearing one more level. Unless it's like a 10-second speedrun.
Yeah, Colossus Legion wisely skipping the auto-scroller.
Oh, these guys kill themselves. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's worthy of trying again.
Level.
Basically, you just need to survive the initial and then damage boost past the spike balls, it looks like.
Looks like Hourglass has found a training level. Has to climb the bomb evader. Colossus with a water level. Gonna give it a go. Dobbs dodging.
Oh, it's a troll level, unfortunately, for Zero Planes.
But not skipping it.
It's pretty quick to do this part. I don't think he's going to have enough time to invest in another level anyways.
Down to our final 90 seconds. Hourglass has gotten over the bomb evader. Reaches a checkpoint. Might have been able to cheese a little bit if... Oh, he did cheese a little bit. Very nice. Has the subworld to get through. And unlike our previous round, as soon as that timer hit 0, you're done. Zero Planes making it interesting with another clear.
Yeah, I thought that had gotten him, but he was able to get back through the warp block and got this clear. So again, you're probably on your last level unless it's a really quick one. Looks like this is built for you to run back and forth, but Dobbs trying to get through it without doing that. And he does.
Where there's a will, there's a way. There is another clear for Koas.
Got to do some P-switch jumps there for that level for Zero Planes. Under 10 seconds to go.
Yep, Dobbs unfortunately has to excavate through some bricks, and that's gonna be it.
That was just in time for Owlglass.
Wow. And that is that would tie them up with Koas Legion. We're gonna need a final confirmation on that. And right, Owlglass and Dobbs came into this tied. So that makes things very hype. I don't think we've seen such a close race here on the weekly.
Well, they did it. Owlglass, Koas Legion, tying for first place this week.
Very nice.
So they edged out. Didn't I say Dobbs had the lead coming into that round? So they both managed to edge him out?
I think so.
So that is how tight it can get. Make sure we give them the chance to join us here. Mark everybody is finished.
Hopefully the bot is behaving.
Every once in a while it likes to. I'm just running through everything real fast to make sure I've got this right. So Koas Legion and Owlglass tying for first. That's going to put Dobbs in third, Zero Planes fourth this week. Fought valiantly trying to come back, and he tied Dobbs for, well, second place in number of clears, but 8 was the winning number this week. See, I called that back when we started this. I said 8's usually the number.
It's my lucky one.
We are waiting to see if anybody's going to join us this week. And it doesn't look like it did yet. Well, maybe it did.
I posted an invite in the race official channel.
Yeah, now they're starting to filter in here. And so, since I don't think anybody got to hear us before, it turns out we have a tie for first this week with Koas Legion and Owlglass. So, GG on that front. Both of you in here with us.
GG.
Nice.
And you actually had to pass Dobbs to do that. He had the lead on you going into the third round, but then you both put up an 8.
Yeah, the levels that I got for Endless weren't all that great, but considering 8, I mean, that's still quite a lot.
Well, let me start with Zero Planes, because for many of these, we were revisiting favorites in part 1 and 2, but if I'm not mistaken, at least 3 of these were completely new to you.
Two of them were the final three I had played before. I really liked the shorter format though. I feel like the other guys like get better over time. I have like this initial burst where like I'm a little bit in the lead and then they refine and like knock me out of the competition. But so I think that the 8 minutes was really fun for me, and I think I ended up doing a little bit better in that round for that reason.
Dobbs, you finished third this week. You had the lead going into the last one, but then the endless clears just didn't quite come for you. And then something apparently fell over. So we'll give him a chance to sort that out. Outglass, how about we go to you? What was your favorite level this week that we revisited?
Ooh, that's difficult because 3 out of 5 were blind. So the revisited one, Bill Deserts. But the blind ones, maybe the Swamp Precision was actually kind of funny to do.
Okay. Koas, how about for you?
Yeah, it's the same thing. The Swamp Precision one. I think Curdy B was the one that made it. I really enjoyed it. I know for a fact that I went way faster this time than last time. When it came to playing that level in specific.
Yeah, really interesting format shift there for y'all.
So we heard Zero's thoughts on the shorter time frame for the optimization. Let's get your thoughts on that. What would you think about moving to a shorter time frame there?
Yeah, in my case, it would be a bit worse because I'm one of those that get a little bit better over time. So I think I peak at around 10 minutes-ish. So it is challenging, but at the same time, it does give other players not the chance to peak as well. So I think it's fairer and it's more stressful, so it's fun.
All right, I think we have Dobbs with us now. Let's give him a chance to get a few words in.
Hey guys.
There you are.
Hey.
So fun levels this week. Good to see a lot of familiar ones returning. I think only one of those levels I hadn't been able to race in before, but I was glad to finally put some tech that I built out in the very first weekly race on Shell Sliding. I was able to finally put that to use because I couldn't make it work that first week.
So, fun fact, Germdove joined us in chat and was talking about, oh, who has that world record? That didn't last long.
No, he was telling me that he had played that one when he was getting ready to join in the weeklies to get kind of a feel for the difficulty level of the stages, which I think is a great way to kind of get to be a part of the weeklies. Is just play some of the old levels.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
August, any questions for our runners?
No questions. Just congrats on the victories. I think each of y'all had a victory in round one, with the exception of Owlglass, who was the first to get one of the first times in round two. But really good gameplay from all.
Well, how about this? Let's give y'all a chance to promo yourself. We'll start with Chaos and work our way down. Anything fun you got going on this week on stream?
Yeah, I've been doing some casual speed runs after over a year of taking a break. So my regular time is at like 10 o'clock Central, doing some speed runs. See how that goes.
Dobbs, how about you?
Oh, I am doing some viewer levels. I cannot get enough Mario Maker 2, so if anybody out there has some fun levels, bring them my way.
Owlglass?
Yeah, the viewer levels and then a little bit of Pokemon Sword and Shield do have a little bit more feel to it, so it's fun. We have a lot of things going on.
Zero Plane's a bit of a night owl. What you got going on?
I bought a heart monitor recently, so I've been doing some viewer levels with that, and that's been kind of exciting. And then
Nice.
one of my big projects lately is I've been learning Mario 3 Warpless. I'm down to 1 hour and 1 minute and 11 seconds. Hoping to get a sub 1 hour to qualify for Mitch Flower Power's tournament in April.
Very cool.
So there you go. A lot of fun stuff going on from these runners. Hope you'll give them a follow and hope you'll join us again next week for more of this. I have been Trenton, joined by August here in the booth. We appreciate each and every one of you joining us this afternoon and hope you have a great rest of the day.
That's all, folks.
GG, everyone.
GG.
Bye bye.